In every ESOP, there's a team of professionals engaged in order to undertake the transaction. I'd like to take you through who everyone is and what their roles are so that you can understand when we speak about an ESOP, their relative positions in the transaction and what they do. So let's start with who's on the sell side, and next we'll do who's on the buy side. The sell side is first our clients, the selling shareholders. We know who they are. And they have key employees who are the next line of management who may someday be the senior management. We want to make sure that we come up with benefits for them that are enticing for them to stay and lead the organization. The next group is company counsel. There's going to be an attorney with tremendously deep expertise in ESOPs, probably has done hundreds of them, that if your own law firm doesn't have someone like that, we're going to bring them in because we need true experts at every chair around this transaction. After them on the sell side is your accounting firm. Your accounting firm is going to validate everything we say in this transaction to the buy side, and they're a very important part. The next one is the first party who you don't know they are probably. That's called the third party administrator, or TPA. The third party administrator helps craft a retirement plan that works for your workforce. They do a lot of analysis, they keep the records on it, and they make sure that we build a retirement plan that all of the rules will be followed for your team. And finally, we have your wealth advisors and estate planning counsel. We are looking at you in a holistic way, meaning it's great that you've created all this wealth out of your company and that you're part of it. But we want to make sure that you've thought about your estate planning, which is really planning around the death tax, to put it in simple terms, and also what to do with this family wealth that's being generated so it ends up running the way you want to. So we embrace your estate planning counsel and wealth advisor in our transaction because we're thinking beyond the transaction. It's not just about with us about a deal. It's about where do my clients go? Where are they going to be successful for the future? Because we really care about them and their families. The other side's the buy side. So who's buying my business? It starts off with someone called the ESOP trustee. A trustee is a fiduciary, meaning they have a duty of loyalty and good faith to someone else. Their duty of loyalty and good faith is to the employees who are really not in the room for this transaction to be negotiated. So we first want to get someone who does that. They're typically lawyers and CPAs who fell in love with employee ownership, and this is what they do for a living. This is their job. They do it for many, many companies. They are going to have a couple of professional advisors. The first one is they're going to hire a valuation firm. That valuation firm's job is to really understand my clients, our clients' value, because their job is to know the fair market value of the company, because that's what a trustee is allowed to pay. And their ultimate role will be to sign what's called a fairness opinion to the trustee saying this transaction is fair financially to the buying employees. They are going to be the economic voice of the trustee throughout this transaction. They'll conduct due diligence, and we will spend lots and lots of time talking to them during a typical transaction. The trustee also has to hire a lawyer, trustees counsel. Trustees counsel is someone who also has done hundreds of ESOPs, and we've seen in many transactions before, and they will represent capably the fiduciary in making sure it's a fair value to the employees. Finally, you have the need for bank debt, so we have lenders. Our firm is, I believe, the highest and best firm in the country in terms of sourcing capital for ESOPs because of our tremendous commercial banking experience. And we know the lenders, we know what they're willing to do, and we talk to them, and we run what's called a bank process, whereby the banks will compete to win your client's work. And that is really important in terms of maximizing the line of credit you'll need for liquidity in the future, cash at closing, and a flexible financing that doesn't overly pressure the company. And then finally, lenders counsel. So they're going to have a lawyer. We need lawyers who understand ESOPs. We've never had a client sign a personal guarantee in an ESOP we've done. We won't tomorrow or the next day either, because the banks we deal with and their counsel understand as a seller, you're not going to guarantee the debt. So in the middle of all this is our firm. So what do? So our first and highest job is to identify your goals, because goal ascertainment and achievement is our job. So first we ascertain your goals, we spend real time with you, and then we build a bespoke plan to get there. We also advocate for value. We know that when a client sells, typically it's the most important financial transaction of their lives, and we want to make sure they're treated fairly. We think that's our job, because it is. We manage the deal process. There's 8 or 9 sets of professionals. Project management and making sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it is a big undertaking. You should think of us as the quarterback in the transaction, and everyone else are position players. So we distribute the ball to the players when they need to perform. They do their jobs, the ball comes back to us, and we move it on to the next party. There's a significant amount of project management to keep this many really smart professionals working as a team. We're going to structure this transaction to achieve your goals, both from a financial and tax perspective. We're going to lead the negotiation of value. We are your financial voice in this transaction with the trustee and their valuation firm. So we're the ones who are really negotiating the transaction. We also are sourcing and negotiating the bank financing of this transaction on your behalf. So our job is to put this team together and then to achieve the goals that our clients articulate to us at the very beginning of our relationship. And that's really the core of what we're supposed to do here. And this is all the people that would be part of that transaction to get there.